Hello, welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another yoga flow here at Downward.doc. My name is Mitzi. This week we are going to be doing a Mandala flow. Mandala in Sanskrit translates to circle or center, representing wholeness. In this Mandala yoga flow, we are going to use a dynamic sequence, making our way around the mat a few times. This will help to clear our mind and feel more centered within. Finding a comfortable seat, start to close your eyes and we'll take some energizing breaths. And think about our intention for our practice today. So dropping the hands by your side, inhaling your hands up into prayer overhead before bringing them to your heart center. We'll do that again, inhaling the arms up, exhaling your hands back to heart center. Inhale your arms up overhead into prayer, exhaling your hands back into your heart center. Last one, inhaling the arms up and exhaling your hands back to your heart center. Blinking open your eyes, start making your way to the front of the mat into mountain pose Tadasana, and we'll do a couple of flows just to warm up. Inhaling your arms up, gentle back bend, exhaling forward fold. Inhaling halfway rise, exhaling hands down, stepping back into plank. Our first flow here, we'll do a knees, chest, chin while we warm up into low cobra. Pushing back into your child's pose, remembering that you can find child's pose at any point in your practice as you need. Pushing back into downward facing dog, pressing through the palms, gently engaging the fingers, maybe pedaling through the legs. Taking a couple moments here before you look forward and stepping to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway, exhale forward fold, inhaling back up to rise. We will do another sun salutation here just to warm up. Inhaling halfway, exhale, hands down back into plank. Finding your flow, we'll do another knees, chest, chin just to warm up before we push back into our downward facing dog. Drawing the shoulders away from your ears, pressing equally through the hands, engaging the fingers before looking forward and stepping between the hands. Okay, we're going to start in mountain pose, our Mandala sequence, inhaling the arms up, exhaling forward fold, inhale halfway, exhale plant your hands to the mat, stepping your right foot back to begin with, inhale coming up to high crescent, exhaling sinking through those hips. Opening up to warrior two, left hand forward, dristi at the middle finger, relaxing the shoulders from the ears, flipping that front hand and reversing your warrior now. Coming forward, bringing your left elbow to your left knee, opening up the chest into extended side angle, or bringing that left hand to the mat, depending on where you are in your practice. Turning your left foot in, facing forward and doing a forward fold here. Before we soften through the knees, bringing ourselves back up to rise. Turning the right foot to the back of the mat now, circling the arms down. Find your flow. Either knees, chest, chin, or if you're fully warmed up, you can do your full chaturanga as I'm doing now, before pressing back into your downward facing dog. Staying here for a moment before we step forward. Inhale halfway, exhale forward fold, and then inhaling to rise. And we're going to go again, continuing on that right side to complete our circle. Inhaling the arms up, exhale forward fold. Inhale halfway before you exhale, stepping the right foot back. Inhaling up to high crescent before turning and opening up into warrior two. Shoulders away from the ears, dristi at that front middle finger, flipping the hand and reversing your warrior. Exhaling, bringing your elbow to your left knee, right arm overhead extended. Bringing that left hand to the mat if you want, as long as you keep your chest open. Coming back into warrior two, hands on the hips, bringing that left foot back to face forward. This time, bending the knee over to your left side, hands to the mat if you need for support. Feeling that stretch in the inner thigh before we move over to the right side, repeating the same thing here. If you have it in your practice, you can always deepen your squat a little bit lower, extending out the right foot and coming up onto your heel. Using your hands, coming back to the middle of the mat, softening the knees before coming up to stand. Bringing that right foot back to the front of the mat, windmilling the hands down and finding your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back into your downward facing dog. Stepping to the front of the mat. Inhale halfway, exhale, forward fold. Inhaling to rise. Gentle back bend. So that was the first circle of our mandala flow. And now we're going to head to do it on the other side. So this side will be going with our left foot to the left. Alright, so inhaling your arms up, gentle back bend, exhaling forward fold. Inhale halfway, exhaling forward fold, planting the hands, stepping the left foot back this time, coming up into your high crescent on your inhale. Your next exhale, sinking through your hips, opening up to your warrior two, stacking the shoulders over hips. Dristi on that front middle finger before you flip the hand and reverse your warrior. Exhale into your extended side angle, your right knee on your right elbow, or you can bring your right hand down to the mat, keeping that chest open, heart to the sky. Inhale back up through warrior two, hands on your hips, bringing your right foot back so that you're coming forward into a forward fold with wide legs. Placing your hands on the mat here. When you're ready to come up, softening through the knees to bring yourself up to stand. Left foot now, facing the back of the mat, windmilling the hands down. Finding your flow, full chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, pushing back into your downward facing dog. Taking a breath here before you look through your hands, stepping forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold before you inhale to rise. And we're going to complete this circle on the left side. Inhaling the arms up, gentle back bend, exhale, forward fold. Inhale halfway, exhale, forward fold. Again, stepping the left leg back. Inhaling up to high crescent, exhale, sinking through the hips a bit more. Opening out to your warrior two. Shoulders stacked over hips, shoulders away from ears, flipping that hand now back into your reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, before coming into your extended side angle. So bringing your right elbow to your right knee, that left arm extended overhead, chest opening up to the sky, bringing that right hand to the floor if you like. Can you sink through the hips anymore? Inhaling up into your warrior two. Turning your right foot so you're facing the back now. Again, coming over to your right side, sinking through the hips. If you need to keep your hands on the floor, that's fine. If not, and if you've got a bit more mobility in your hips, then you can sink all the way, bringing your hands to your heart center or keeping them on the floor if you need some extra support. Standing back up, softening the knees, and then turning those feet to the front of the mat, and then finding your flow. Knees, chest, chin, full chaturanga to upward facing dog or cobra, pushing back into your downward facing dog. Having a breath here before we prepare by pedaling out the legs, grounding through the hands, looking to the front of the mat and stepping between the hands. Inhaling halfway up, exhaling forward fold, inhaling to rise. So we've completed mandala flow on each side, going around the mat. We're going to do it again. One circle around the mat on each side again. So on your next inhale, coming into mountain pose, preparing, inhaling the arms up, gentle back bend, exhaling down to forward fold, inhaling halfway, exhaling forward fold. Stepping the right foot back, inhaling the arms up in high crescent, exhale, sinking through the hips. Inhale, opening up to warrior two, shoulders away from ears, shoulders stacked over hips, flipping the hand and coming back into our peaceful warrior. And then extended side angle, your left elbow on your left knee or left hand to the floor, reaching that right arm up and overhead, opening up the chest. If it's within your practice, you can bind or feel free to stay in either of the previous postures. Inhaling, coming back up, turning that left foot in for our wide leg forward fold. Bringing the hands through if it's within your practice, taking a few moments here, having a couple of breaths here. Preparing to stand, bending through the knees, coming up, turning that right foot back to the back of the mat, windmilling the arms down, finding your flow, knees, chest, chin to upward facing dog or full chaturanga, pushing back to downward facing dog. Stepping back to the front of the mat, inhale halfway, exhaling forward fold, and then inhaling back up to rise. Gentle back bend before we prepare to go again. Inhaling the arms up, gentle back bend, exhale forward fold. Inhaling halfway up, exhaling forward fold, stepping the right foot back again. Inhaling up to high crescent, sinking through the hips on your exhale. Opening up to warrior two, grounding through the feet, shoulders over hips, dristi at the front middle finger. Flipping the hand back into your reverse warrior, peaceful warrior, before coming into your extended side angle. Your left knee on your left elbow on your left knee, or placing that left hand to the mat as long as you can keep opening up the chest. Again, if it's within your practice, feel free to bind here. As long as you keep the chest up, gaze can be up to the sky. Coming back through your extended side angle, back into warrior two. Extending that left leg, turning the toes forward, sinking into your left hip, hands to the mat. You can stay here. If you've got a bit more flexibility in your hips, come all the way down and feel free to come onto that right heel. Transitioning over to the other side, staying here if that's where you are. If you're able to sink the hips a bit lower, then you can come here as well, bringing the hands to the heart center. And there's another bind here as well. Keeping the chest open, bringing your hands to the mat, softening through the knees, and bringing yourself up to stand. Turning those right toes to the front of the mat now, stepping back into your plank, full chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, pushing back into your downward facing dog. Looking forward, stepping to the front of the mat, inhale halfway, exhaling forward fold before you inhale all the way up to rise. Well done. Coming into our final mandala flow, we're going to be heading back to the left side again. So taking a few moments here just to reset yourself, getting ready for the left side. Okay, so standing in Tadasana, mountain pose, inhaling the arms up, gentle back bend, exhale forward fold, inhaling halfway up, exhaling forward fold, stepping the left foot back this time, inhaling up into your high crescent, exhale, sink through the hips. Opening up into your warrior two pose, shoulders away from the ears, your dristi, your gaze on that front middle finger, active through the legs, flipping that front hand over into your reverse warrior, before coming back into your extended side angle, bringing your left arm overhead, right elbow on the right knee or hand to the mat. Again, if it's within your practice, feel free to bind here, keeping the chest open, head and heart lifted, challenging your balance a little bit more here. Coming back through to Warrior Two, straightening that right leg, turning your right toes in as well. Coming into your forward fold here, hinging from the hips, hands to the mat. Feel free to stay wherever you are within your forward fold. If you would like at this point to practice your tripod headstands with me, then feel free to have a go. Make sure you've got something in front of you or practice against a bolster. If you're new to practicing headstands, then it might be best to just stay in your forward fold. Coming back through your forward fold now, bending the knees, coming up to stand. We're going to be facing the back, turning those left toes to the back of the mat, and then finding your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping back to the front of the mat, inhaling halfway, exhaling forward fold, inhaling back up to rise. This is our last little loop. Inhale, gentle back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot steps back again, coming up into your high crescent. Exhale, sinking through the hips a little bit more if you can. Opening up into your Warrior Two. Shoulders from your ears, drishti at the front middle finger. Flipping your hand to reverse your warrior. Coming back into your extended side angle, right elbow to your right knee, left arm overhead. If you'd like to deepen this practice, you can modify by bringing your hand to the mat, or here again, finding your bind, keeping your chest open, heart aiming up to the sky. Coming down through your extended side angle, back into Warrior Two, straightening that right leg before we come back into our side squat. So if this is where you are, coming over to the right side, wherever you are, keeping your hands to the floor or hands in prayer, as deep as feels comfortable. Coming back up through the middle, bringing your hands to the left side, sinking the hips, bending that left knee wherever you are. If you can sink a bit lower, you might be able to lift up the right toes here. And again, feel free to find your bind on this side. Keeping the gaze up to the sky. Hands finding the mat, coming back up through your forward fold, softening your knees, and then coming up to stand, turning your toes to the front of the mat, stepping back into your plank, finding your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, exhaling to your downward facing dog. Well done. Taking a few breaths here in our last downward dog of the practice. Inhaling slowly in through the nose, exhaling slowly through the nose. Taking a few breaths here in this active resting posture before we'll get ready to come to the mat for a couple of back bend postures. Firstly, we'll press back into our child's pose with extended arms. Feel free to rock side to side, massaging your forehead before coming up. And now we're going to lie on our front here. We're going to come into Sphinx pose to begin with. So elbows under shoulders, opening up through the chest, pressing through your hands, trying not to overextend the neck here, feeling this active back bend before coming back down, resting your head on the backs of your hands, maybe rocking your hips from side to side to release the lower back if you need. From here we're going to come into half bow, but we'll warm up our quads first. So holding the left foot with the left hand, bringing the heel to the bottom, feeling that stretch at the front of your thigh. If you're able to, flipping the hand to the inside of your foot and just coming up into half bow, keeping the other hand in Sphinx. Resting back now, again, maybe gently rocking your hips from side to side, loosening up the lower back. Coming onto the other side, grabbing your foot with your hand on the outside, feeling that stretch in the front of the thigh. Then bringing your hand to the inside of the foot, pushing your foot away, feeling that extra stretch. Active through the feet. Coming back down. Now, if it's within your practice, you can go into full bow, bringing both hands to the inside of the feet, pressing up, lifting the chest off the mat, pushing your feet away, pulling your hands back, feeling this active back bend. And then gently relaxing down. Your hands can fall underneath your forehead again, and we'll just take a few minutes here while we allow our lumbar spine to reset. You might want to sway the hips again. When you're ready, pushing back up with your hands to a comfortable seat, coming onto your bottom, and we're going to find Tadasana again. So it's that active seated position, legs out in front, activating through the feet, and we're going to gently roll back down, engaging the core. Arms stretched overhead, pointing the toes, having a long stretch before you come into a ball, tucking the chin into the chest if you wish, maybe rocking from side to side, and then circling the knees one way, and making sure that you go the other way as well, feeling that deep massage in your lower spine. You can separate the knees, circling together and then changing direction, circling the knees away. Again, massaging that lower back. We're going to come into our final position here, Shavasana, our corpse pose. So feet about mat's width apart, arms out by your side, feet turned out, and just find a gentle posture here. We're just going to take a few minutes connecting back to our breath again, feeling the chest rise and lower, maybe seeing if you can bring your awareness to your belly. Can you feel your belly expand as you take nice deep in-breaths here and exhaling again through your nose? You may wish to do a body scan, going from your feet to your ankles, to your knees, to your hips, lower back, your upper back, coming through your fingers, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, your neck, and finally to your head. Are there any areas of tension? Can you let those areas with tension go and feel really and truly relaxed? Starting to bring some awareness back to your body, maybe wiggling your fingers and toes, having a long stretch, arms overhead, before tucking back into a nice tight ball. Maybe bringing your chin to your chest again, rocking from side to side. Slowly, and keeping your eyes closed if you like, coming over to one side before pushing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Here, we're going to take a couple of breaths again, keeping your eyes closed. Inhaling your arms up, overhead, into prayer, bringing the hands back down to your chest on your exhale. Inhaling the arms up and exhaling your hands back to your heart center. Let's go again. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling through the heart center, rubbing your palms together, feeling the warmth build in your hands before covering your eyes, blinking your eyes open a few times behind the palms before you release your hands and bring your awareness back to your room. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Namaste, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.